Hello, everyone, and welcome to Safe Space Conversations. I am Coach Tukesa, and on Safe Space Conversations, we are all about bringing tools and tips that people can use to elevate their lives. Today, I am super excited to be having this conversation about something that is so timely in our world. Um, I'm talking today on the subject of bullying. And according to Wikipedia, bullying is the use of force, coercion, hurtful teasing, or threat to abuse, aggressively dominating or intimidating. Bullying is often a repeated habit, so it's habitual for those who are labeled bullies. Bullying can be done by one person or it can be done by a group of people, which is then called mobbing. And bullying is so rampant in our world today. Not only do we have bullies on in person as we live our lives, we have bullying in schools, we have bullying online social platforms as well. People are using any medium they can to become bullies. And today it gives me pride to have a conversation with a young lady that I've known all of her life. Yes, all 15 years of her life. And I think that someone at the age of 15 who is stepping into leadership roles and having conversations about bullying as well as looking to be an example for other young people is someone that we should all support, we should all recognize, and we should all commend. And today I'm having a conversation with the Miss Teen Black the Bahamas International Ambassador 2020, 2022, 2023, Miss Ciara Newbold. Ciara, welcome to our conversation today. It is a privilege to sit and have a conversation with you about bullying. I see my good friend Neela, all the way from LinkedIn, living in the USA, has tuned in to hear exactly what you have to say today, Ciara. So, could you please introduce yourself, Neela? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Ciara, please tell us a little bit about you, why you chose to enter the platform of Miss Teen Bahamas, and also why you chose bullying. And then we'll dive into our conversation after that.
Thank you for having me and thank you for allowing me in your space. My name is Ciara Newbold. I am 15 years old and I am Miss Teen Black the Bahamas International Ambassador. I chose to enter Miss Bahamas Teen so not only that I can build confidence in myself, but to show younger ladies and even younger gentlemen that they can do anything that they put their minds to. And I chose the platform Born to Be Kind, bringing awareness to bullying because I have experiences myself as I was bullied when I was younger, even up to now. And I just want to encourage them and to let them know that they can overcome anything and that they can rise up against anything that rises up against them. Thank you.
Well, that's a really noble reason to enter a pageant. I love your Born to Be Kind platform. And I love that you're giving a voice to bullying because, according to statistics, I did a little research coming into our conversation today. But coming into this conversation, I learned that at least one third of young people worldwide experience bullying. Ciara, can you tell us a little bit about an incident where you were bullied?
There are numerous incidents where I were bullied. I can touch on specifically the fact that in school, all the time in school, I was always taller than everyone. Imagine me in grade three, taller than all the other kids. They would always bully me, say, "Oh, you're so slim, you're so tall, you have big teeth." As you can see, I have braces. So that I wouldn't say that that led to me getting braces, but it was an insecurity of mine since I was always bullied about it. But children in today's age can be so mean. And I've been bullied on a numerous amount of occasions. And now I just want to speak out about it so that people know that it's okay to rise up from something that you've overcame. And I just want to help people to rise up against their own bullies.
Okay. Wow. So while you were in grade three, you were taller than most of your classmates. Yeah.
Everyone, not even most,
Okay.
everyone.
You were taller than everyone. And they teased you about your height. They teased you about your teeth. They teased you, in school. Tell us, I'd like to hear from you. How did that make you feel inside? Like, as a person, to be at school that should be a safe space, how did it make you feel? What were the emotions that you felt?
The emotions that I felt, I was flooded with sadness. I felt empty. I felt like I wasn't loved, like I wasn't good enough. But I wasn't able to speak out about that. I was too shy to tell anyone because I felt as though they would laugh at me even more. Because, oh, you're just this girl who is shy and doesn't say anything, so I can bully you. That made me feel very empty, like I couldn't speak out and speak up for myself. And I
Oh,
know that people today are even feeling that way. That's why I want to be the voice to help them overcome, like how I've overcame.
awesome. I love it because there's nothing more powerful than taking pain and converting it to power. Because hearing you speak and say that it made you feel empty, that you were hurt, you didn't feel safe, like all of those things were things that would make you like hide away and run away. It
And
takes a
cry.
yes, but it takes a certain courage to stand up in the face of that. And as you're watching our conversation today, if you've ever been bullied, please type in chat and let us know what your experience was. So our beautiful teen ambassador for the Bahamas does not recognizes that she's not alone in her experiences. So please type in the comments and let us know if you've had an experience with bullying and how that made you feel. And so, Ciara, let's continue our conversation because we have young people in schools that bully, but we also have adults that are in the workplace who are also bullies. Like young bullies, I guess, grow up to be adult bullies. And so bullying just carries through from primary school to junior school to high school through college. And then when you get into your career. So, in your opinion, and this is your opinion, okay? It's not right or wrong. This is just how you feel. In your opinion, what is it that you believe makes people become bullies?
In my honest opinion, I feel as though people who are bullies aren't okay with themselves. I feel as though they have insecurities that they need to work on within themselves. But instead of doing that, they project it onto other people so that they can feel better. Making other people feel bad, I believe, is what makes them feel good. And I think that it's an internal battle that they're fighting with. So they have to project it onto other people in order to not even resolve it, but just to feel better about themselves.
Yeah. I see Neela is sharing with you that you're not alone. She was actually overweight as a teen. So you know that you're not the only person that experienced some bullying, Ciara. And I agree with you. I believe that people who are bullies, whether they are young people or whether they are adults, in the work field, that there's an internal struggle that's happening with them, and they feel powerful by doing their best to make other people feel small. And so when we encounter bullies, I think it's super important for us to remember that we may be the object of their disdain, or the object that they're going to use to help themselves feel better, and do our best not to take it personally, but to recognize that that person is filled with pain and perhaps needs some support. So as you were going through this experience, recognizing that bullies have internal battles and they are fighting to feel good about themselves or have some other type of issues going on in their lives, what were some of the strategies that helped you to become the strong, confident woman that you are today?
Before I can even list the strategies, I have to say that I leaned mostly on my family, that being my sister and my mother. They always told me that I was beautiful, even when I was being bullied, and I would come home crying to them. They always said, "You're beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're skinny or tall, you are always made to stand out." Not only did I rely on my mother and my sister, but I did rely also on God. I would come home and I would pray, and I think that's an amazing person, amazing figure to look at and to try to follow. So for me, my strategies were to look in the mirror, tell myself, "You are beautiful." Even if I used to look at myself and tell myself that I wasn't good enough. So instead of doing that, I changed it and made it into, "You are beautiful. You are made to stand out. God loves you." And because God loves you, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. You are made in His image. All of you are made in His image, and you are beautiful and wonderful just the way that you are.
Oh, that is so beautiful, Ciara. And I'm so proud of you. Today, was it this morning? I think I put my hand around your waist and I was, toying with Kaya and saying, look, Nana's hands can fit around Ciara's waist. And you and I had a good laugh about it. And it's wonderful to see that you've blossomed from affirmations, being able to accept yourself and say, this is who I am right now, and that's an important strategy, whether you're in school or whether you are in the workplace. That's an important strategy to be able to affirm yourself and understand that despite what other people say about you, you get to determine who you really
Yes.
are. You get to accept yourself and say, this is what it is, and I'm going to love it entirely. And recognizing that bullies are trying to feel better about themselves, it's important that we also, if we're being bullied, we do things that help us feel better about ourselves. Earlier in our conversation, we were talking about the fact that young people or who are bullies can potentially grow up to be adults who are bullies. What example or what advice would you like to give to parents who are examples of bullies for their children? Because in reality, people do what they see, and children like to emulate what happens around them. So, for parents who have kids, what advice would you give them about the example of being a good example for their children and showing them how to treat other people instead of being a bully?
Well, the advice that I would give parents are to just watch what you say in the home, or if you're mean in the home as well, because like you said, they are the example, the role model. And I would also say to listen to your child. Not if they're being rude, you should put your foot down or what's not, but if they came to you in hope and in love, telling you how they feel, expressing to you how their what their feelings are, I believe that you should sit down, listen, examine the problem, the situation, and not just shout at them when they're trying to speak to you, but to sit down, to listen, and to actually understand. Because most parents, they might listen, but they might not understand. So if you don't understand, I suggest that you also ask questions. Maybe that can help. But all that a child, I believe, really wants is to be listened to and to be heard. So I
Yeah.
think that helps a lot.
Yes, oh wow, that's some really powerful advice from a 15-year-old. Okay, that's some really powerful advice because in reality, we all want to be seen, heard, acknowledged. We all want to have a sense of belonging. That's what we want. And our first tribe, the first community that we have is the community that we're born into. And so while some children may have the example of mean parents, some children may become bullies because they're not being seen. They're not being heard. Their concerns are not being addressed and they're not feeling loved or safe. So that's great advice that you're giving parents. And those of you who are adults who are watching tonight, I want to encourage you to take the advice. They say children always tell you the truth, but we have a teenager dropping some golden nuggets here today. So please give us some encouragement in the chat. Please let her know that you're listening and how you feel about her advice. And so, Ciara, we know that children want to feel like they belong. We know that affirmations are a great way of helping yourself work through bullying. We also know that talking to someone that we trust is
Yeah.
important as well. So having that trusted partner that you can go to and express your emotions to is super important. And also having a relationship with a higher being. You and I, we serve who we call God. People may call it different names, but it represents the highest being. As Caribbean kids, we grow up to believe in God, but having that relationship with something higher that can help you pull into knowing that you were born for greatness, knowing that you're here for a purpose, and it doesn't matter what other people say. Becoming so set in your foundation as a person and your purpose that other people can't shake or waver you. I see your mom is here saying, "Great job, Ciara." That's what I'm talking about, having supportive parents. I see Sonia McCrae is saying, "That's good." I see Ty Ken is giving you some claps. So that's some really, really great support already, Ciara, for speaking out on this platform. So we've given some kids some advice now on what they can do to affirm themselves and to make them feel better. Tell us, what can teachers do? You're in school now. What can teachers do, or what can other adults do if children aren't getting that support at home? And then we're going to move this conversation to what you believe adults can do on their jobs as well, because we do have some people tuning in from LinkedIn, okay?
Okay.
So tell us
So
what you think teachers can do to cultivate a safe space.
for teachers, actually, I have a few teachers inside St. Augustine's College, my school, who have helped me. I think that teachers can just have a welcoming spirit, a welcoming face, a welcoming heart, because children can tell. They can tell when you're annoyed, they can tell if you're mad, they can tell if you don't want anyone to talk to you. I just believe that teachers should just be welcoming. Even if you see a child, I think that teachers have a great intuition. They can go up to a student and know what's wrong right away. So I think that teachers should watch their tone as well, because children, I can say that myself, I am very sensitive to tones. So I think that's something that we all can work on, even myself. We all have flaws. I think that we can work on tones. And like I said before, I think just having a welcoming presence in general can help children a lot, especially those being bullied or even the bullies, because I think that people look at those being bullied, but they don't always look at the bully. They don't acknowledge the bully all of the time, but they would always ask someone being bullied, who is the bully? And someone who's being bullied, they might not want to say. So I think that you should just have a keen eye and to actually listen, understand, and look at your students or children.
Absolutely. Absolutely great advice. Create a safe space. Be vigilant about what's happening. Pay attention to those who are being bullied, but also pay attention to those who are doing the bullying. Because
Yes.
if you give them some attention and help affirm them, help them to work through some of those challenges, they may in turn convert their behavior to something else. So I see Cindy is saying, "Great job, CC, proud of you." She was teased constantly about her height, but being tall allowed her to get a full basketball scholarship to a Division 1 university. Congratulations, Cindy. I see Shaquille is here saying, "Awesome advice to kids." Paulette is saying, "Very insightful responses." And Antoinette is saying, "This is some good stuff, Ciara." So we talked about in the school environment. Let's take it over a bit to the adults who are in the workplace, right? Because bullies are bullies. So
Yes.
if but you're gonna grow up, and depending on where your path takes you, you're gonna end up in some adult spaces. As an adult, what advice would you give to people in the workplace to help cultivate positivity versus making that workplace toxic? What advice would you give?
The advice that I would give to people to help to cultivate a positive surrounding is smile a little more. Be happy. Just have fun. Don't just always be, I'm not saying not to work, but don't look mean. Don't look like you hate your job. I mean, sometimes you may hate your job, but don't look like it. You should just put on a big, bright smile, even if you don't want to smile today. Even if you see someone down who isn't smiling, go over to them. Say, "You look beautiful today." You should be happy. God woke you up, God gave you breath. Just smile. I love smiling. I didn't always love smiling, but now I do. So I think that that's an amazing way to just show positivity
Yes.
because God loves us all and we have nothing to be upset, or maybe we do, but we have breath, we have life, and some people don't have that. So I think that we should be grateful and we should just always have a positive attitude and look at the pros and not the cons.
Oh, you're dropping some golden nuggets. I don't even need the whole stuff in here today, girl. You're dropping some nuggets. I see Helen is saying very informative. I see Anishka is saying it definitely helps. A smile goes a long way. And Sonia is here saying amazing. That's some really great advice that you've given, Ciara. And I'd just like to also encourage adults who are unhappy, depressed, who feel that, or who may have had some experiences that have caused them to be more on the negative spectrum, to invest time in a coach or a mentor. You don't even have to pay a coach or a mentor. There are people that you already know in your circle who would be happy to be a safe space for you, a listening ear, that someone that can help guide you, help you ask questions about the things that are bothering you. Sometimes we just need a listening ear to offload, some of the
Yes.
stress that we're carrying. Or you can go to the University of YouTube. Some of you are watching on YouTube right now, and Google inspiration, motivation, how to convert pain to power. Google things that will help you step out of victimhood and step into taking ownership and changing the trajectory of your life, because in reality we have to be our own rescue. And if we don't do anything to improve our lives, we're going to continue to grow bitter and more unhappy. And like Ciara said, we were born to be happy, born to be kind. And so, Ciara, thank you for that advice for people in the workplace. These are great strategies that can be used wherever you are experiencing bullying in your life. I want to wrap our conversation up talking about community support. We know that you are Miss T in the Bahamas Black Ambassador, and confidence is said to be one of the most important factors for success. It is
It
my
is.
opinion, if bullies had more self esteem and more confidence, they would be able to convert their bullying activities to something more positive. As someone who navigated a queen journey, someone who is in the pageant world, we know you have another pageant coming up. Tell us what self esteem did to help you show up and shine in this pageant, while simultaneously tell us how you built this confidence so other people can also learn.
Well, my self esteem, it wasn't always this high. I would have never dreamed of being in front of people, even on this live, just over the screen. That alone, being in front of people on a big stage. So, my self esteem grew as I grew with my confidence. That being that I was able to go on a stage, talk in front of numerous amount of people, and I think that what helps me the most were family, God and affirming myself every day that I am beautiful, that I can do it and I will do it. My favorite scripture is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and that is what I live by. I can do anything because God put me on this earth for a purpose, not just to sit in my room and cry about being bullied. And that is actually why I want to get out there and help people and tell them you are here for a purpose. Because bullying can lead to so many other things. You can be depressed, you can want to take your life. And I just want to be there to tell people don't. God put you here for a reason, for a purpose. And I want to help build their self esteem up like how mine was built up. And I think that that's just something that I need and really want to do.
Great. I see Shaquille is saying very good. Cindy is saying great advice. My dad is here watching you, Ciara. He's saying good advice as well. And Antoinette is saying amen. Listen, this has been such a wonderful conversation. We spoke about, and you just told us once again that, to build your self esteem, requires you to stand in the mirror and tell yourself positive things. Like, look in the mirror and affirm yourself. Not just that you're beautiful, that you're smart, that you can, like you just said, like you can do all things because you have a power source. You can do all things through God who strengthens you. You also said, shared with us community support. Like you got up on that stage and girl, you could rock it. You have a queen presence and a queen walk. We watch you walk the runway, and so you demonstrated to other people that you can overcome your fears. Like fears are just false expectations appearing real. And you
Yeah.
stood in front of hundreds of people to get this teen ambassador crown and to go in October to represent the Bahamas in another pageant. That took guts. And so we want people to know that you can affirm yourself. We want people to know that there are adults, if you're a young person, there are adults who can affirm you. Find a safe adult. And a safe adult is safe when they listen to you, they ask questions, they give you great advice, and it's positive advice. If you don't have a safe person at home, Ciara had a mom and her sister, Shaquille is here, is her sister. She had those two people really affirming her, and she has a ton of other people that are supportive. Look outside of your family. Go to your teachers. Go to someone in your church. If you're in sports, go to someone in your sports group. But you need someone to help anchor you. We also want to remind parents. Ciara told us that parents set a good example for your children. They're going to do what you show them, and that you should listen to your children and affirm your children too. They just want to be loved, they want to be heard. If you are an adult, because we're wrapping up, if you are an adult and you need support, Ciara has given you all of the tips, the same tips that relate to young people, relate to adults. And in your work environment, it may be difficult to be positive all of the time because let's be real, some jobs take the life out of you. Let's just be real.
And in school.
Yes, school and pressure, right? And you may be having that midlife crisis or that quarter life crisis, wherever you are. Just remember that life is a journey to tie a rope and hang on as you look for support. I see Paulette is saying that Ciara has grown into such a self aware young lady to keep the growth going. So, Ciara, as we wrap up, share your final words with our audience today. Tell us where we could find you, how we can support you, to follow your journey to compete in the next pageant and beyond.
Well, I would first like to say thank you to everyone who came on this live and shared nice and kind words. Kind, born to be kind, yes. And I would also love to say to parents, teachers, just listen to your children. If they are hurting inside, you might not even know. If they just want to talk to you, if they just want to be loved, if they just want to be comforted, just listen and to just be there for them. Children, bullies, I would love to say, look within yourself. Find what's the core issue within yourself as to why you have to bully other people. Seek out to parents, teachers, guardians, family, friends, good friends, and allow them to be there for you. Allow them to help you. You don't have to project your insecurities onto other people. Those that are being bullied, I encourage you to just find your voice. Know who you are. Look at yourself in the mirror, and I always say this, you are that girl. Just look at yourself, or you are that boy. Look at yourself and tell yourself that all of the time. And that's what helped me a lot. I can also say to pray, because God is always there for you. If you don't have anyone to lean on, you must lean on God. He's never going to leave you or forsake you, and He will always be there for you. As I close, I would appreciate it and love if you can follow my Instagram page underscore dot cc dot underscore n, my Facebook page at Ciara Newbold, and you can follow my pageant that I am going to in Atlanta in October. Their page is MBIA. So thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to doing more lives all the time and encouraging youth and older people. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for a beautiful wrap up to our conversation today. I've placed Yara's Instagram handle in our chat. Please follow Born to Be Kind. Let's help Ciara spread the message of kindness to eradicate bullying. When we have self confident young people, they grow up to be self confident adults who can help make the world a positive place. Thank you, Ciara, for the courage to come live and share this message, to talk about your journey with bullying and to give advice to young people, parents, and teachers, as well as other adults, on how to handle and navigate bullying. We wish you the best. I speak for everyone, like everyone who on this live and who will watch the replay. I speak for them today and say that we 100% support you because we want to eradicate bullying. Dar- Darrington is saying, keep it up. God will sustain you through all of difficult times and bring you into a brighter day. Thank
Yes.
you so much to our audience for watching. Safe Space Conversations will return. Ciara, don't leave, okay? Safe
Okay.
Space Conversations will return on August 31st with Bert Wright. And we're going to be sharing the stories about men who support women with illnesses but who are in the background and silent. We're going to hear about their emotions. We're going to hear about how they were able to navigate and support their partners through cancer or the loss of a child or any other illness where they were a caretaker. And we do hope that you join us for that conversation. That's August 31st at 7 p.m. here on Safe Space Conversations. I'm your host, Duquesa Dean, and it is a privilege to bring tools and resources to help everybody elevate their lives. Blessings to all of you. Bye bye. Got to bring you back to let you know that your sister said it's an awesome conversation. And your mom is saying, great job. She's so proud of the young lady that you are becoming. And I'm so very proud of you. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Helen says, continue to do well. They're still typing, so just trying to wrap it up. But she says, continue to do well. Take care, everyone. God bless you all. Thanks for joining our conversation. Stay with
Thank
Sarah.
you.